Want to take your seat, please?
Nothing. They're sitting in there.
The notice of this meeting stating the date, place, and time has been disseminated as required under the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 175. This meeting is called to order. Mr. Clerk, conduct the prayer and flag salute, please.
God of the universe, look thou with favor upon these here assembled, and bestow thy guidance upon the members of the governing body in their deliberations. This we ask in thy name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. In event of an emergency, the proper method of exiting the council chambers is through the 3 doors in the rear of the room. Occupants should proceed down the staircase, out the front door, and move away from the area of the front steps. Any member wishing to speak during the public comment session at the end of the meeting, please sign in on the sheets provided in the front of the room. Mr. Clerk, please take the roll.
Mr. Purcell. Here. Frazier. Excused.
Mr. Frazier is excused.
Sheehy.
Here.
Here.
Sadowski.
Here.
Crosby Hurling.
Here.
Armstead.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Koziel.
Here.
Colvis.
Here.
Mr. Moore.
Here. For a moment here, I'd like to say hello to everybody who's watching from home on Verizon. We just, 2 weeks ago, hooked up from Comcast. Was broadcasting the 3 towns. Now Verizon Fios is broadcasting council chamber meetings to 21 towns. So if you've noticed, there's been a message on our cable indicating that. I ask for a motion to approve the minutes of January 18, 2011.
Council President, make a motion to approve the minutes for the regular council meeting of January 18, 2011. Ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Purcell. Yes. Yamakaitis.
Yes.
Sheehy.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Crosby Hurling.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Koziel.
Yes.
Colvis.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. Ordinance on reading. This is the date and time established for the public hearing for ordinance on hearing.
So sorry. Move the hearing be closed and, oh, I'm sorry, no. I'd like to make a motion to continue ordinance 55-13 to the May meeting and request a second.
Second.
Mr. Purcell.
Yes.
Yamakaitis.
Yes.
Sheehy.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Crosby Hurling.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Koziel.
Yes.
Colvis.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. Ordinance 55-15.
14 first.
14.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to continue this particular ordinance to the May council meeting and request a second.
Second.
Mr. Purcell. Mr. Purcell.
Yes.
Yamakaitis.
Yes.
Sheehy.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Crosby Hurling.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Koziel.
Yes.
Colvis.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. We'll begin the hearing on ordinances listed. Ordinance 55-15.
An ordinance extending rent control in the city of Linden for 1 year from April 19th, 2011 to April 18th, 2012.
I move to close the public hearing of ordinance 5515 and ask for a second.
Second.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Continue with the vote, please.
No, you need to ask.
Has there been any written communication received?
No, sir.
Is there anyone who wishes to be heard on the ordinance?
Okay, at this time, again, I move to close the public hearing of ordinance 5515 and ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Purcell?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Sheehy?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Koziel?
Yes.
Colibus?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. 5516.
An ordinance adopting amendments to the redevelopment plan for the St. George's Avenue redevelopment area, Phase 2.
Has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Has there been any written communication been received?
No, sir.
Is there anyone who wishes to be heard on the ordinance? Please come forward. State your name.
Pat Hirowi, Chief Road. I wasn't here in 2003 when this area was declared an area in need of redevelopment. I was here in 2004 when I suggested that this plan probably wasn't a good idea. And I am now here in 2011 when you can see the evidence of what I had said in 2004 coming to pass. And I want to urge the council to vote yes on this. The fact is, it was a travesty that was instituted to try to get Mr. Johnson's property and the property of all these people who were in an area where the government declared an area in need of redevelopment. The fact is that anybody, a developer, could have come in and bought those properties and redeveloped it. We didn't need the government to come in and forcibly make people, under the fear of eminent domain abuse, be afraid of having their properties taken. Fortunately, Mr. Johnson fought back, but unfortunately for him, it did cost him money in fighting back. But tonight, we can rectify the injustice that was done to Mr. Johnson in approving this and having his property be removed from the redevelopment area. Thank you for your time, and hopefully this will encourage the government never to act in this manner again. Thank you.
Motion, please.
Mr. President, I ask that the hearing be closed and we vote on this, and I ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Purcell?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Sheehy?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Koziel?
Yes.
Colibus?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. 5517.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7, Traffic, as follows. Section 7-26, Loading Zone, 7-26.1, Pickup and Drop-Off Zones. Delete Spruce Street, Monday through Friday, west side, from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 2:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Add Spruce Street, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 2:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., west side.
Has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Has any written communication been received?
No, sir.
Is there anyone who wishes to be heard on the ordinance? Motion, please.
Mr. President, I move the hearing be closed and ordinance number 55-17 be adopted, and I ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Purcell?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Sheehy?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Koziel?
Yes.
Colibus?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. 5518.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7, Traffic, shall be amended as follows. Section 7-33, Handicap Parking Regulations, 7-33.1A, Handicap Parking on Street, add 416 Amon Terrace, 1 space.
Has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Has any written communication been received?
No, sir.
Is there anyone who wishes to be heard on the ordinance? Motion, please.
Mr. President, I move the hearing be closed and ordinance number 55-18 be adopted, and I ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Purcell.
Yes.
Yemakaitis.
Yes.
Sheehy.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Cosby Hurling.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Koziel.
Yes.
Colibus.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. 5519.
Bond ordinance authorizing the resurfacing of various streets in the city of Linden, appropriating $475,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $270,750 in bonds or notes to finance part of the cost thereof.
Has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, sir.
Has there been any written communication received?
No, sir.
Is there anyone who wishes to be heard on the ordinance? Motion, please.
Mr. President, I move the hearing be closed and the ordinance adopted and request a second.
Second.
Mr. Purcell.
Yes.
Yemakaitis.
Yes.
Sheehy.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Cosby Hurling.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Koziel.
Yes.
Colibus.
Yes.
Moore. Mr. Moore.
Yes. Thank you. Consent agenda. All items listed with the asterisks are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless the council member or the citizen so requests, in which the event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda, 1 through 7. Does anyone wish to remove an item?
Can I remove number 7?
Anyone else? Motion, please.
Mr. President, I ask that the hearing is closed and the consent agenda is approved.
1 through 6.
Oh, just to move? Oh, I'm sorry, these are consent agendas. I'm asking for approval of agenda items, consent agenda items 1 through 6, and seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Purcell.
Are we removing number 7, you said?
Yes.
Yes.
Yemakaitis.
Yes.
Sheehy.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Cosby Hurling.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Koziel.
Yes.
Colibus.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. Number 7.
Number 7, advising that the following individual will be appointed, and the concern is this person is going to be a commissioner, and it was brought to my attention by the Housing Authority Director that there are concerns about his thoughts or feelings about other ethnic groups. Therefore, I'm not comfortable having this person appointed. I know it's the mayor's appointment, it's on the consent agenda. However, the commissioners are there to serve all of the people, and Housing Authority, Mongrel Corporation, and the Linden Housing Authority are melting pots. So I'm just going to ask for, a little bit more consideration when it comes to appointing people to serve with seniors and a lot of different ethnic groups. Also, to note, Mr. Woolrab was interested in continuing his service. So those are my comments. I'm just going to ask the council to please consider those things when we vote on this item.
Thank you. Motion?
We're going to ask for a motion or a vote on number 7 of the consent agenda. Can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Purcell.
No.
Yemakaitis.
No.
Sheehy.
Yes.
Sadowski.
No.
Cosby Hurling.
No.
Armstead.
Yes.
Brown.
No.
Koziel.
No.
Colibus.
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. Okay. Resolutions? Mr. Clerk?
1, 2, 3.
Council President, I'd like a clarification from our city attorney on my appointment, which is solely my appointment to the Housing Authority.
The appointment is an appointment by the mayor. It does not require advice and consent. Although the mayor is giving advice that he's making the appointment as of now, the appointment actually is made as of the date the vacancy, which would be May 9th. So if that would be the appointment, the mayor would be making effective as of that date. The notice on the consent agenda is an advice to the council that the mayor is making that appointment.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. Mr. Clerk, make note of that, please.
Yes, I will.
We're on resolutions.
Mr. President, before I begin resolutions, I'm going to ask that 20...
Please. Go ahead.
No.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Just following your lead.
Committee reports from the emergency government body. Number 10, Mr. Pichelle.
Thank you, sir. From the Union County Shared Services newsletter that's out there, the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders is pleased to offer all Union County residents the opportunity to participate in the Union County Wellness Discount Program. There are no age or income limitations for participation. This free program offers residents discounts on the following: prescription drugs, hearing exams, hearing aids, vision exams, eyeglasses, contacts, LASIK eye surgery, dental care, diabetic supplies, pet medications, and ProSmile. Prescription drug discounts of up to 10 to 50% are available with free Freedom Card, which can be used at over 55,000 pharmacies, including most major pharmacy chains. Complete details on the prescription discount plan and other aspects of the Union County Wellness Discount Program, as well as details about receiving a free card, can be found on the county website at www.ucnj.org/wellness discount, or call the hotline at 1-877-321-6755. There's another one with shared services too. I'll leave this up there if somebody wants it. Is the Union County Emergency Medical Service Mutual Aid Pilot Program is moving forward. At present time, 2 ambulances have been fully outfitted and are ready to roll. However, due to a delay with the State Department of Personnel, we have postponed our anticipated launch date of April 1st. We hope to have our vehicles on the road no later than June 1st. A shared services update will be issued with more details as it becomes available. With that, a lot of people work during the day, so they can't work on volunteer ambulances. So they'll have them available, I think it's from 6 in the morning to 6 at night, to any municipality. Trees, sidewalks, if they need to be repaired, if they were damaged by the trees or city equipment, you could call me at 486-4392 or Councilman Rich at msn.com. Another thing, thoughts and prayers go out to the Berry family who lost their son last week, Sean. And Todd Hammond, EOD, Earl Naval Weapons Station. I worked with him for several years on a range. And in Afghanistan, he was dismounting from his Humvee, and he got hit by a roadside bomb. So he lost his leg. He's in Bethesda, so he's recovering. Wish him well. End the report.
Thank you. Mrs. Yamkaitis.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. I'd like to start off my report with the Fire Committee. The Fire Prevention Bureau collected a total of $3,530.41 during the month of March 2001. During the month of March, The Linden Fire Department responded to 389 calls for assistance. The breakdown of the incidents are as follows: 12 fires, 175 EMS calls, 1 rescue, 46 hazardous conditions, 64 false alarms, 2 code complaints, etc. At last night's caucus meeting, the Fire Committee recommended and requested the support of the council to rehire 3 of the laid-off firefighters and promote 1 lieutenant to captain to replace the 3 positions in the fire department that we received retirement notifications of. As chairperson of the Fire Committee, I would like the citizens to know that Engine 5, our reserve engine, is still not in service, but the rehiring of these officers will assure that fire responses will be available from all 4 houses, and all 4 houses will be properly manned according to fire safety standards. I would also like to mention that Firehouse Number 3, located on the corner of East Elizabeth Avenue and Chandler Avenue, will be having a grand reopening. There will be a ribbon-cutting ceremony on May 11th at 3:30 p.m. For the 8th Ward report, I want to alert the residents of the 8th Ward that we're getting tagged once again on the Route 1 and 9 corridor. I have alerted the police department of this problem, but we ask anyone who noticed any suspicious activity or any buildings being sprayed to please contact the police immediately. We have to be proactive in this together to tackle this problem. I will once again be working with the city and the businesses to get the tags removed. If anyone did not receive a copy of my recent newsletter, you can view it on my webpage, which is www.councilwomanmichelle.com, or call me at 925-2309, and I will be sure to get you a copy to your home. I want to thank the residents who came out and attended our 8th Ward community meeting last week, which was our first community meeting for 2011. Much information was shared with the community and police as well. I want to give a special thank you to our acting police chief, Sal Bavona, and the officers who took the time to come to the meeting and listen to the residents' concerns. This is a great venue for the city officials and the community to work together to improve the quality of life in our neighborhoods. And before I conclude my report, I just want to remind everyone that April is Autism Awareness Month. According to recent studies, autism affects 1 in 91 children. More children will be diagnosed with autism this year than AIDS, diabetes, and cancer combined. A federal study made public in early 2007 found that New Jersey had the highest rate of autism ever recorded in the United States, and that 1 in 94 children will be diagnosed. Autism knows no racial, ethnic, or social boundaries. Individuals with autism typically have difficulties with communication, sensory input, and appropriate behaviors. I urge everyone to support any upcoming fundraisers during the month of April and throughout the year, or support walks to help find the missing pieces of the puzzle to help find an understanding and cure for autism. And I also like to send my condolences to the Berry family. It was really a shock to everyone in the community. So that concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mrs. Gianmarconis. Councilman Sheehy?
Thank you, sir. In the 7th Ward, this summer we will be paving Lower Road, West 15th Street, and West 11th Street. I would like to thank all the volunteers that came out this weekend for the Masterpiece Program. If anyone's not familiar with the Masterpiece Program, we open up the rec center on every Friday and Saturday night. This weekend we had a basketball tournament there, 3-shot competition, 3-point skills competition, and I'd say we had between 150 and 200 people there. It was a great success, all done by volunteers. And I would like to thank Reverend Donaldson for steering us in the right direction on this project. It's a total success, and I want to thank the volunteers again. You can't thank the volunteers enough. And I would like to thank the students of Linden High School, the way they conducted themselves with Mr. Schornberry's retiring. It was tough for everybody. They had an event at the AA field, which was a total success, and they honored him as he took his last ride. And I really got to commend the students, the faculty, and staff for everything they did for that young man. I would like to congratulate Chief Bavona. He is now our police chief, and I know Chief Bavona, and I know Sal, and I know he will do a great job. And I like to be the bearer, don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but we're not going to, as of now, we're not having summer jobs for the kids. Due to our finances, we can not, unless we get grant money from somewhere, we're not going to have the summer jobs program as of now. And I would like to tell everyone that this council has been working extremely hard, a lot of hours, working on this budget. And we're going to have a special meeting coming up, again, just for the budget. And I want to assure you that we are working hard on this budget, I promise you. And I would like to get everybody out to vote for the school board election. Get out and vote. If you don't vote, don't complain. That's the end of my report, Council President.
Thank you, Mr. Sheehy. Mr. Sadowski.
Thank you, Council President. I just have a short couple of announcements. I was asked to please let you know that the 2011 dog licenses are already on sale. April 1st it started. All dogs 6 months or older are required to be licensed. A valid rabies vaccination is required to obtain a dog license. The fees are $8 for spayed dog and $11 for unspayed. On vaccination, on May 2nd, Monday, there will be vaccination 3 to 5 at James Iozzi Park on Dill Avenue. And on May 4th, Wednesday, same time, Firehouse at West St. George Avenue and DeWitt Terrace. If you have any cats, please bring them out. They can be vaccinated too. Senior citizens asked me, I don't know if I mentioned it last month, about the handicap rules in Linden, if you have one of the placards that hang down. In the city, if you have one of those and you have the little white card, you can legally park on any spot in the city, parking meters or not. What it will cost you, though, is it'll cost you the first quarter. After that, you don't have to pay any more money. This is what it is. I asked the police, and they said also, this should be throughout the whole state. You can't park in someone else's handicap spot, but you can park, for example, right in the center of a town. Cost you a quarter, you can stay there all day, I guess. In the 6th Ward, if anyone needs sidewalks or trees trimmed or potholes filled, please, DPW is starting up. Please give me a call at home. It's 862-0749. Talking about the election coming up. The election, the candidates for the 3-year terms are 1, Lou Scaldino, Brian Russell, Nyland Frank, Charlotte Richardson, and Carmen Southwood. There will be a community meeting of candidates tonight for the Board of Education tomorrow, April 20th, 7 o'clock at the Linden Ambulance Corps. So if you're interested in asking questions or finding out answers, please come down, but please vote. Whatever way you vote, please vote. I guess some good news, too. The Duke project. We were still waiting for the suit to be over, but while we're still waiting, the Walmart store, one of the corner stores, has signed on with Linden to open up. So that's a start. We're still waiting for ShopRite to sign on, but other stores signing on already are the TD Bank, Sonic, Panda Express, Polo Tropical, and Golden Corral. So if you can see, we do have a start. And I think once it starts, I'm hoping by the summer, we could have the first shovel in. And to end this, I would like to congratulate Police Chief Sal Bavono and I'm sure he will do a good job. Thank you, Council President. That's my report.
Mrs. Sadowski, could you tell the public the hours for voting at the Board of Education? I think they changed.
4 to 9.
7 to 9 o'clock. No, is it? 4 to 9. No.
Not that one.
It's, I know it starts at 4 o'clock.
4
to
to
9,
9.
excuse me. So if I go at 7, I'm going to be waiting a long time.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Councilwoman Rashana Cosby Hurley. Councilwoman?
I'm just busting them. Thank you, Mr. President. Real quick, the Board of Education meeting is a Wednesday also. It's not normally a Wednesday, so it will be a Wednesday on the 27th from 4 p.m. to 9. From the 5th Ward, I want to thank our 8th Ward Councilwoman Michelle Yamakaitis for coming out and celebrating with us in the 5th Ward. We had a great time. The children had a great time at the Easter egg hunt. They did an egg roll, they did an egg race, and the Easter Bunny was there, so they all had a good time in spite of the weather. We are distributing the newsletter now. If someone wants an electronic copy, you can contact me and I'll email it to you. My email is cosbyhurling@linden-nj.org. In our ward, we are conducting, well, I'm going to actually be requesting a study for the border roads on East St. George's Avenue that border with Roselle. We have some concerns as far as parking of non-residents, people who go to the clubs, people who actually live across the road in Roselle. They're using Linden roads to park vehicles overnight, sometimes a couple of nights. So that's a concern, and we're going to conduct a traffic study for that. I also visited, at my neighbor's request, an area on Garfield Street that is sort of dim at night. It's kind of dark, and we're requesting that a light be installed there for her. And the committee chair is going to do that for us this evening. Congratulations to Chief Pavona. We're excited and looking forward to, moving our police department forward. Want to welcome back the firemen who are going to be rejoining the fire department and thank those that are retiring for their service. What else? If anyone is interested in having a shade tree, I do have a list that is being compiled now, so please contact me. If you don't have an email, you can call me at 908-477-4120, and I'll add you to the list. The Shade Tree Commissioner has agreed to come to the 5th Ward. We will take a visit of the neighborhoods of request and see where the trees can be placed. My next office hours for the multipurpose center will be Friday, April 29th, and Friday, May the 6th. That's all I have. I do want to wish my colleague, Mr. Frazier, well in his absence and wish him a speedy recovery. We look forward to seeing him next week. And anybody who is coming out for the Scout and Government Day, there are going to be presentations there, so if you guys are available. There's no official business, but it's good that the young people can see people that support them. So next Tuesday is the Scout and Government Day, so please consider coming out and support the young people. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Councilman Armstead.
Yes, Mr. President, I have the following reports. First of all, we have some reports, some backdated reports that somehow slipped through the cracks. I'd like to report that the City Clerk's Licensing Division is submitting this monthly report for the month of January 2011. The office issued 52 miscellaneous licenses and collected $3,642. Also, the City Clerk's Licensing Division is submitting a monthly report for the month of February 2011. The office issued 56 miscellaneous licenses and collected $3,244. The City Clerk's Licensing Division is submitting a monthly report for the month of March 2011. The office issued 145 miscellaneous licenses and collected $11,512. The following licenses, permits, and transcripts issued to the City Clerk's office during the month of March 2011 and fees received have been turned over to the Municipal Treasurer of the City of Linden. 128 birth, death, and marriage transcripts for $1,920. 26 marriage licenses for $78. 15 miscellaneous revenues for $7.35, 4 bingo raffles for $420, 276 EDRS vital statistics, $3,990, interest to the city's clerk's account, 22 cents. And there was state revenue of $650 for a total of $7,065.57. I hereby submit the following report of parking meter collections, railroad daily parking lot, and railroad parking permits for the month of December 2010. On Wood Avenue, Blanky Street, East Elizabeth Avenue, parking lots, Price Street, Canop Street, and Canop Street West Elizabeth Avenue, and East Elizabeth Avenue, on-street parking, city garage, we received $4,243.80. Pennsylvania Railroad Avenue, East Elm Street parking lot, East Blanky Street parking lot, we received a total of $623.25 and an additional $4,867.05. The New York side cash, we received $5,701.25. Trenton side cash and credit cards, we received $21,554.91. The merchant parking permits, we received $1,391. And the railroad parking permit, we received $21,875 for a total of $58,389.21. Under the Finance and Personnel Committee report, approval is requested for the following personnel and finance actions. In the Department of Public Property and Community Services, the paid FMLA leave of absence for Ray Crane from March 28, 2011 to April 11, 2011. Item number 2, in the Fire Department, the rehiring of firefighters Thomas Weingerther, Michael Anderson, Brian Majewski at their annual base salary of $61,213 upon the retirements of firefighters listed below, and will result in a savings of $85,534.31. Retirement of Fireman J. Mayer, effective May 1st, 2011. The retirement of firefighter Kevin Krasinski, effective May 1st, 2011. The resignation and retirement of Fire Captain Louis Gazzo, effective April 15th, 2011. The city agrees to file the retirement paperwork effective May 1st, 2011. The promotion of Fire Lieutenant Wayne Hands to Captain, effective May 1st, 2011, at the base salary of $103,828, which replaces the resignation and retirement of Fire Captain Louis Gazzo, which will result in an immediate savings of $4,064. Before I continue on, I just want to, we have Fire Lieutenant Wayne Hands in the audience. If you would stand, Wayne. I'd like to congratulate him prior to our vote. I'd also like to discuss the issue of the retiring firefighter Jay Mayer, Fire Kevin Krasinski, and Louis Gazzo. I'd like to commend these gentlemen for retiring. We sent out a call for firemen to step up so that we would be able to bring some of the young men who we unfortunately had to lay off. And we are staying true to our word. We are staying true to our word. As they retire, we shall bring some of you young men back. You know, it was very disheartening to have to let you go to start. Next month, I understand, we have 2 more who are contemplating retirement, and when they do, we shall proceed down that list, and we shall bring back those other young men who were let go. We know that these men chose these careers, and they've sacrificed a lot to become firemen, and we're going to do everything humanly possible to make sure that we bring you back. Okay, I'm going to continue with my report. If you gentlemen who are going to be rehired would like to stand, we'd appreciate it if you would. Any of you guys who are here. And congratulations on your return. Item number 4, in the Public Works Division, the unpaid FMLA leave of absence of Marquise Burton from March 29th, 2011 till April 30th, 2011. and the Public Works Division the paid leave of absence of Diana Fratello from February 14th, 2011 to May 17th, 2011. Number 6, in the Finance Department, the acceptance of Vincent Andreco's resignation as an unpaid intern effective April 1st, 2011. I'd like to thank Vincent for his hard work. He was a volunteer, and he did a very good job, and he's moving on to bigger and better things. Number 7, the accepting the concessions of the non-bargaining unit employees, including most department heads, who've all agreed to give back their raises in 2011, representing a savings to the city of Linden in the amount of $51,007.24. The list is on file in the Treasurer's office. Number 8, personnel required to carry out the Department of Public Property and Community Services seasonal programs. That list too is on file in the Treasurer's office. Number 9, the payment of bills totaling $1,406,236.19. The bills have been signed by the Mayor, Council President, and Finance Chairman, and a detailed check register and vouchers are on file in the City Clerk's office. We are in receipt of the investments made by the City Treasurer for the month of March at a rate of 0.75%. I am moving for an approval and ask for a second of all these items.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Purcell.
Yes, and welcome back firefighters and our new captain. Captain Hand, congratulations. All.
Yamakaitis.
Yes, and I'd also like to say congratulations to our new captain and welcome back to our firefighters.
Sheehy.
Yes on all except I abstain on number 9, and I'd like to congratulate them young men for coming back. We need you. And congratulate Captain Hands. Thank you, sir.
Sadowski.
Yes, and congratulations to the people coming back. You're the backbone of the city.
Crosby Hurling.
Yes on all except for number 5. And congratulations to our newest captain. Good job.
Armstead.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes, and again, I would like to say congratulations to the new firefighters and captain who lives, he lives in Linden. I think it's important to acknowledge that he lives in Linden as well, so congratulations as well.
Koziel. Yes, and congratulations to Thomas, Michael, and Brian, and Wayne. Vote yes. Kalbus.
Yes, and I want to say welcome back to the firefighters and congratulations for a new captain, Hans.
Mr. Moore.
Yes, and as a former fire commissioner myself, I congratulate you and keep up good work. Thank you. Councilman Brown.
No, I'm not finished, Mr. President.
Sorry, Mr. Armstead.
I'd just like to mention that there's a copy of the county budget. It's on file and in the clerk's office for the public's review. Contact Mr. Bodak or his staff if you're interested. I'd like to also send my condolences to the Burry family who lost their son. And I'd also like to congratulate Chief Sal Bavona. I've known Sal for quite some time, you know, growing up in Linden. He was very hands-on in our community as a child, and we really appreciate what he's done in our community. And again, we congratulate him as he endeavors to be as he is now our chief, and we look forward to him doing good things and staying in touch with our community. Last, but certainly not least, after much consideration, thought, and discussion with my committee, the President of Council, Mayor Gabunka, I am making the following recommendation to hold off of the introduction of the 2011 municipal budget until May. Based on the input and dialogue I heard last night at our caucus meeting from some of our council members, we were unable to meet, who felt they were unable to meet with the Personnel and Finance Committee or the CFO prior to this council meeting to go over some of the questions that they felt were important on the budget. Therefore, I'm requesting a special meeting to be held with all members of council to discuss the proposed 2011 municipal budget. That meeting will be on May 2nd at 6:00 p.m. in the council caucus room. It will be announced as we always announce our meetings, and the public is invited to attend. Once the entire council has met and discussed the proposed budget, I will make a motion to introduce the budget at the May 17th, 2011 caucus meeting. That concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Armstead. Councilman Brown.
Thank you, Council President. First, I would like to congratulate our new police chief, Sal. I know he's going to do a great job, and I just want to say I'm sorry because I know as soon as he got through the door, I already requested for our ward a traffic study. So I know he's going to help us out with that in the 3rd Ward because speeding is an issue. So hopefully we get this resolved. I would like to again congratulate the firefighters. Welcome back. In regards to the 2011 budget, I'd like the residents to know that the council as a whole will be working hard on this budget. I also encourage residents to come out to the May 2nd meeting. It is a public meeting, even though it's in the council caucus meeting. But again, this is the budget that affects everyone in Linden, and it's important that you come hear the dialogue between the council and also to voice your opinion. So again, I invite the public to come out to the May 2nd meeting. End of report.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Councilman Cozier.
Thank you, Mr. President. My colleague to my left here allowed me to read this because it's good news on West Elizabeth Avenue. Authorization advertised from the NJDEP for the final phase of the West Elizabeth Avenue Flood Control Project is expected any day now. We hope to finally receive bids in May. Thank you, Mr. Collis. Transit parking on 2nd Ward streets. In December of 2009, I asked that the Parking Bureau investigate the parking of non-resident commuters in the 2nd Ward, specifically on streets close to the train station, after it was brought to my attention by area residents. All complaints alleged that commuters were parking on Ward streets to avoid the transit lot parking fees. At that time, the Bureau found no evidence to support the allegations. I requested the Bureau reopen the investigation, and due to lack of parking on West Blanky Street from Northwood to Spruce. There was found to be a lack of available parking during the day, unusual since most areas of the city have ample parking at this time due to residents being at work. A check of the vehicle's registrations revealed that a large number were registered to non-Linden residents. These findings led the Traffic Bureau to recommend that the current permit parking ordinance, 7-15.1 on tonight's agenda, item 55-23, be amended to include decal parking for street residents. The Committee on Consolidation and Restructuring. As far as the Linden Police Department Table of Organization, we have requested information from the department and will proceed to review personnel ranks in their Table of Organization, and will work closely with Chief Bavona to study the department's rank structure and shift scheduling. At the committee's meeting on April 14th, the Council Consolidation Committee made final recommendations regarding a revised Table of Organization for the Public Property, Municipal Garage, and Public Works Departments. The objective of revising the TO is to optimize our workforce and to make certain that there were no unnecessary or duplicative positions. A few versions of the TO were submitted and revised, and I was ultimately not satisfied with the final version submitted. I will not support a plan in which not every position is absolutely necessary or vital to the efficient operation of that department. As the chairman of the committee, I recommend that it be looked at again and every supervisory and managerial title be justified. I would also suggest that the layoff plan due to deploy later this month not be deployed until all positions in question in all departments be justified. I will not agree to keep any positions on any TO simply because they have always been there. The city can't afford it anymore. The Society for Historic Preservation, the Cultural and Heritage Committee, in association with the Society, will hold the Linden 150th Anniversary 5K Race and Fun Walk, which will take place on Sunday, May 8th, it's Mother's Day, but it's in the morning, at Tiger Stadium at Cooper Field on West Curtis Street. All proceeds from this event will fund the Cultural and Heritage Committee and future events planned to celebrate Linden's 150th anniversary. The 5K race course is certified by the USATF, and those wishing to participate may register online at CompuScore or print out a registration form available online and return it to the mayor's office. Registration fees are listed on the website. For more information on the race and walk, please contact the mayor's office at 474-8493 or visit Linden's website at linden-nj.org. In recognition of the city's 150th anniversary, the committee would like to encourage Linden residents to share their personal stories, memories, and photos about the city of Linden, New Jersey. The Society will have its second meeting of trustees tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. at the Linden Public Library on Henry Street, and all those interested in Linden's history are invited to attend. And I'd like to make one last mention. My wife and I have been involved since our two boys were in school with Project Graduation. We did it for many years with the Mayor's Youth Commission and then with the PTA. And we remember Sergeant Sal. So we go back a long time. But I'd like to congratulate now Chief Sal Bavona, and I look forward to working with you closely as we did with Chief Boyle and best of luck to you. End of report.
Thank you. Mr. Cosio, for the people at home, TA, Table of Organization, just so everybody knows. Mr. Colibus.
Thank you, Council President. I'm requesting the installation of light poles at the following locations: 415 Garfield Avenue and Dill, and 110 Carnegie Street. Ask for a second.
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 Mr. Purcell.
Yes.
Yamakaitis.
Yes.
Sheehy.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Crosby Hurling.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Koziel.
Yes.
Colibus.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
From the Construction Code Department, the figures for March 2011, 160 permits issued, and 131 certificates processed, total of $252,815. From the Board of Health, the Linden Health Department is currently offering free balloon shots for residents at 65 and older. To schedule an appointment to receive the vaccine, contact the Linden Health Department at 908-474-8420. Also available in limited quantity is the T-DAP and Menacatra vaccine, which is required for students entering 6th grade. Contact the Health Department for information on these vaccines and to schedule an appointment at 908-474-8420. From the engineering, the census population for each block in the city was recently received by the engineering department. The city engineer and city clerk will report to council next month as to whether or not any ward redistricting is required. And last month, we reported that Pierce Avenue would be reconstructed with Community Development Program income funds. Since the work requires excavation for the new roads and curbs, the NJDEP requires us to analyze the soil for contamination. This was done earlier in the month, and the results show oil contamination. The soil is therefore not acceptable at our landfill and would have to be delivered to a site outside the city for a considerable cost. The county funds would not be eligible for this purpose. Therefore, the engineering department recommends we only repair any deteriorated pavement and use the remaining funds to resurface Middlesex Street and East Henry Street from Bauer Street to McCandless Street and Mopstick Avenue from 11th Street to 15th Street. I just want to say congratulations to Police Chief Pavona and to Councilman Fraser to get well soon. This concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Colibus. Mayor's report.
Thank you, Council President. I'd just like to take this opportunity to offer my condolences to the Berry family on the loss of their son, Sean. He's in our prayers, and we wish the family a speedy recovery on this tragic loss. I also like to congratulate, if you saw in the Personnel and Finance Committee, that all the department heads gave up their 2011 raise. That's unheard of in this city, and they deserve to be commended for that, which goes to show you that the city workers are concerned about the taxpayers, and they're trying to do whatever they can at their personal sacrifice to alleviate the tax burden. And with that said, next month, the tax of 2011 will be introduced, the budget, and I have been sitting in on Personnel and Finance Committee meetings, and they've done a Herculean task in reducing the budgets and reducing our spending, and I am very pleased with the budget that is going to be introduced, and maybe by next month we could reduce it even further. I'd also like to commend Chief Pavona for being our new police chief. I've served with him on the police department for many, many years, and I look forward to working with him as the mayor and head of the police department. I'd also like to welcome back the 3 firefighters that were laid off, and also Captain Hans. Reverend Donaldson has been doing another tremendous job in our multi-purpose center. Jack Sheehy, Councilman Sheehy, brought this up and his report, every Friday and Saturday night from 8 to 1 p.m. Our multi-purpose center on John Street is open so that we have some place available for the youth in Linden. Most of the neighborhood youth use that facility. It's open to anyone in the city of Linden that wants to use it. And it's all run by volunteers through the Mayor's Youth Commission and neighborhood volunteers. They put in countless hours, and they deserve praise. And come next month, I will personally list each volunteer. But again, Reverend Donaldson is the one that started the Masterpiece program and deserves to have an accommodation for doing so. With that said, again, I just want to remind everybody, May 8th, as was stated by Councilman Cozio, we are going to have a road race which is kicking off the 150th anniversary celebration of the city of Linden. Please come out and participate. It's going to start at the AA field and go down DeWitt to Springfield Avenue, the street before Raritan, and come back up Orchard and into the AA field. It's Mother's Day, but it's early in the morning, so moms get out, and we have a carnation for you for participating. Thank you, Council President. End of report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to take this opportunity to thank Chief Salvo Pavona. We worked together in the past, and it's been a long time, and I congratulate you on your promotion. And just announcement here, I'm going to remind the council people to please come in next week, 15 minutes early for an official photography picture be taken on the steps of City Hall. Bring us into resolutions. Public comments will be permitted for those specific resolutions to be removed from the consent approval. Please read the synopsis of the resolution, which have been prepared by the city clerk's office. Each is informative and self-explanatory. However, if you wish to address a specific resolution, the council will entertain a question on it. Does anybody wish to remove a resolution? Mr. Cozio, before we get into, could you make a motion on 151, 155?
Of course, Mr. Council President. Before we begin, I would like to remove from consideration items number 2011-156, 157, and 158, and I ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Purcell.
Yes.
Yemakaitis.
Yes.
Sheehy.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Cosby Hurling.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Koziel.
Yes.
Kalovitz.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. Okay. Names for, number, Ms. Hera?
136, 137, 138, and 156.
Thank you.
That was what about 130?
Diane? In the center? On my left? I'll ask for a motion on the remainder that haven't been removed.
Mr. Council President, I move resolutions numbers 2011-129 through 2011-155, with the exceptions of 134, 136, 137, 138, and 154. Did I get those correctly?
Yes.
Okay. I ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Purcell.
Yes.
Yemakaitis.
Yes.
Sheehy.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Cosby Hurling.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes. Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Yes.
Kalovitz.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. Okay, 2011-134, Diane Wolverine.
Diane Wolverding, Morris Avenue. What is a constable? What is their responsibilities? And is it a paid position?
The constable is simply an appointment that the city makes by law. If someone comes in requested, they have the power to serve subpoenas, to do matters for attorneys. It's not a paid position. Any money they make from, if they're working for an attorney or they're working for someone else to serve a subpoena, service a process. It's basically a designation that some people want to carry out their business.
Okay, so if they get paid, it's from a
The private sources.
Okay, thank you.
Can I, just add on to that?
Mr. President, I move resolution number 2011-134, and I ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Purcell.
Yes.
Yemakaitis.
Yes.
Sheehy.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Cosby Hurling.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Kozio.
Yes.
Colibus.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. 2011-136, Pat Hira.
In the interest of time, I'm just going to batch all of these 136 to 138. Why do we need a temporary municipal prosecutor for these dates?
There are certain days that the prosecutor, for whatever reason, scheduling, illness, other court matters, is unable to be here. By agreement, the council has established a certain number of days. He's allowed to have an assistant prosecutor or an acting prosecutor in. Otherwise, he would actually pay for it. So it may be Mr. Katari that is actually paying for their time. But if he's unavailable, we have a list of qualified other attorneys that put in once a year that are approved by council, and off of that list, these other attorneys are then asked to fill in when Mr. Katari can't be available.
Now, is this taken out of his salary when he's not able to be available on these dates, or is this already figured into his salary?
There is a certain number of days that he is allowed to utilize that for reasons that's by agreement he's had for a long time. Beyond that number of days, and I don't know whether he's at that number of days yet, he would be paying it, although the council would be appointing that person. It would be Mrs. Katari paying for their time.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so 136, 137, 138 has been spoken of.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. I move resolutions 2011-136, 137, 138, and I ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Purcell.
Yes.
Yemakaitis.
Yes.
Sheehy.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Cosby Hurling.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Kozio.
Yes.
Colibus.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. 2011-154, Diane Wolfding.
I wanted to know about this authorizing the sale and issuance of bond anticipation notes. If you could just explain that.
Sure. Council President?
Please.
Mrs. Wilder-Verding, what this is temporary financing. We have a diversified portfolio, and for the sanitary landfill, which is a separate utility budget, we do temporary financing. This was for the closure of the landfill. There's certain expenses that are mandated that have to occur per the administrative consent order. So this is temporary financing that we do on an annual basis, and we pay down $105,000 each year off of this debt service.
Now, how temporary is this? Is it paid off within a year?
This, no, we have to pay these bands off within a 10-year period, and I believe this is the third year.
Because I know when you have bond issues for the different things that are still, you have to deal with the landfill, it's usually a separate resolution. It has a specific amount. So this has no specific amount, and that's
Right.
what worries me. How much, and what's the minimum and maximum that this could go?
This bond anticipation note is for $1.4 million, and it's basically to fund those various capital projects that you just referred to, dealing with the sanitary landfill.
So this is $1 million resolution here.
$1.4 million to authorize us to borrow that temporary money, the bond anticipation notes, to fund the various projects needed for the sanitary landfill.
And this is in addition to previous ones that were, you know?
No.
This is to cover the previous ones?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so if they were already approved,
They were approved through an ordinance,
Right.
and that allows the council to authorize the expenditures. And now this is to borrow the money to fund those expenditures on a temporary basis.
okay, so this
a
covers
separate
something that was
budget.
already passed and voted on?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Motion, please.
Mr. President, I move resolution number 2011-154 and ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Purcell.
Yes.
Yemakaitis.
Yes.
Sheehy.
Yes.
Sadowski.
Yes.
Cosby Hurling.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Kozio.
Yes.
Colvin.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes. I will go into ordinances on first reading. Ordinance number 5520.
Calendar year 2011, ordinance to establish a cap bank.
The council, in order to take into consideration public input into the prospective ordinance, will allow 3 minutes for each individual to speak on the ordinance on first reading. The council will not answer any questions, and everyone is reminded that the public hearing on each of these ordinances will be held next month, council meeting. Like the, is anybody, we're working on a list, okay. Has everybody had an opportunity to sign the list?
Do you want to go on the motion while they sign it, or you want to wait for them all to sign it? Or you can have them make a motion to introduce the ordinance, or you want to wait for them to sign it? First reading. Everybody will sign it.
Can I have a motion to introduce ordinance 5520? We did that one. 5521.
5520. We need a motion to introduce it.
Motion, please.
Yes, Mr. President, I move for the introduction of ordinance 5520 and request a second.
Second.
Mr. Pashel?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Sheehy?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Kozio?
Yes.
Colibus?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. Motion 5521.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 3, Police Regulations, Section 3-1, Litter Control shall be amended as follows. Delete Section 3-1.3 in its entirety and add new Section 3-1.31 as follows. Prohibition of dumping, depositing, or storage of snow and ice within the city of Linden.
Thank you. The council, in order to take into consideration public input into proposed ordinance, will allow 3 minutes for each individual to speak on the ordinance on first reading. Council will not answer questions, and everybody's reminded that the public hearing on each of these ordinances be held next month's council meeting. Motion, please.
Council President, I'd like to introduce ordinance 5521 and ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Pashel?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Sheehy?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Kozio?
Yes.
Colibus?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. 5522.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 5, Animal Control shall be amended as follows. Add new Section 5-5, cat licensing.
Thank you. The council, in order to take into consideration the public input into the proposed ordinance, will allow 3 minutes for each individual to speak on the ordinance on first reading. The council will not answer questions, and everybody's reminded that the council hearing on each of these ordinances will be held at next month's council meeting. Please come up. State your name.
Patty Marigo, 2519 Greer Avenue. I know you can't answer any questions. There's just some thoughts that I would like to make sure or to bring to the table on this ordinance is, if you're going to have cat licensing, then it should be mandatory that they actually have their cats neutered. And also, if it's going to be, there's a lot of people in the city of Linden that volunteer over at Folis, and I'm one of them, that we will actually take care of the cats. We're foster parents of the kittens and cats until they can get adopted out. And I just want to also see if those people are all going to have their cats, those cats licensed, because they're falling underneath Folis, but not underneath the individual person. So in cat licensing, there's a lot out there, and if it's going to be mandatory for a cat to keep a collar, to keep the license on, I can tell you right now, I have a cat, and every time I try to put a collar on it, it does not stay on. It's off within a matter of 2 minutes. So I don't know why you want to do the cat licensing, which is fine if you need the revenue. I can understand that. But there's a lot of things that need to be consideration before we making it mandatory for cat owners to get license for their animals. Thank you.
Thank you. 5523. Oh, I'm sorry.
I just want to reiterate what Ms. Murgo said. I agree on your first 2 points because it is hard to put a collar, and also about fostering cats. I think you're nickel and diming people for cats because unlike dogs walk around, you take them out, you take them to a dog park, they mingle with other dogs. Cats, if you're a good cat owner, you keep them in the house. And yes, it's very important to keep them neutered, spaded, and up to dates on their shots. And I just totally disagree with it. I think you're nickel and diming it, and I agree with Ms. Murgo, you'd never get a collar on a cat. And I remember the worst thing I ever saw when I was a child outside of School 6, there was a cat who got strangled hanging in a tree because he had a cat collar on. And that, I will never forget that image. But I just think I can understand dogs because there's so many that are out in the general public, but if you're a good cat owner, you keep your cats in the house, so I disagree with this.
Thank you.
Mr. Moore?
Please.
Pat Hero, Wheat Chief Road. I want to say that I have to disagree with Ms. Murgo on the issue of neutering a cat before a cat is allowed to be licensed. I think pet owners should have the independence as to determine whether or not they want their cat neutered. So I don't think that should be a requirement of the license. Yes, if you want to have the license requirement, have it, and maybe it would be a good source of revenue. But I don't think that should be tied in with the licensing. I think it should be independently decided by each individual owner. Thank you.
Motion.
Council President, I ask for the introduction of ordinance 55-22 and seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Paschal?
That'll be a yes, and before it gets put back on the agenda, I'd like to see the issues that were brought up addressed.
Yamakaitis?
I'm sorry. Oh, never mind.
Yamakaitis?
Yes for introduction, but I would like to also have some of these issues addressed.
Sheehy?
No.
Sadowski?
No.
Cosby Hurling?
Abstain.
Armstead?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes, and again, the issues that you or anybody else has, the public, please submit them to the Board of Health Committee so they can be addressed.
Koziel?
I agree with Councilman Brown. Yes, and being a dog owner and not being that familiar with cats, I do think some very good points were brought up tonight, and they should be taken under consideration.
Colibus?
Yes, and my committee will go over the points that the public made tonight, and by next month, we will have stipulations or what we need to move forward.
Mr. Moore?
Thank you, Mr. Cobblis. The purpose is allowing people to speak on the first reading is to get input
Council
from you.
President?
Yes.
I just need your vote on that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Allow you to have input into the ordinances, and we appreciate your input. 5524.
5523, an ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 7-15, parking by permit only in designated residential areas shall be amended as follows. Section 7-15.1, parking decals, add West Blanky Street, both sides, from 390 feet west of Wood Avenue, that's the end of the parking meters, to Spruce Street.
Council, in order to take into consideration public input into the proposed ordinance, will allow 3 minutes for each individual to speak on the ordinance on first reading. Council will not answer questions, and everyone is reminded that the public hearing on each of these ordinances will be held next month's council meeting. Motion?
Council President, I move ordinance 5523 for introduction. I ask for a second.
Second.
Mr. Paschal?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Sheehy?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Koziol?
Yes.
Colibus?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. 5524.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 10, Building and Housing, Section 10-20, Enforcement shall be amended as follows. Delete 10-20.22, Certificate of Occupancy for Housing Inspections. Add new 10-20.22 as follows. Certificate of Occupancy for Housing Inspection Fees.
The council, in order to take into consideration public input into the proposed ordinance, will allow 3 minutes for each individual to speak on the ordinance on first reading. The council will not answer questions, and everybody is reminded that the public hearing on each of these ordinances will be held at next month's council meeting. Motion, please.
Council President, I ask for an introduction of ordinance 55-24 and seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Paschal?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Sheehy?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Koziol?
Yes.
Colibus?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. 5525.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 26, Flood Damage Prevention, shall be amended as follows. Add new section, Article 3, Riparian Zone as follows. Add new section 26-20, Riparian Zone.
The council, in order to take into consideration public input into the proposed ordinance, will allow 3 minutes for each individual to speak on the ordinance on first reading. Council will not answer any questions, and everybody is reminded that the public hearing on each of these ordinances will be held next month's council meeting. Motion, please.
Council President, I ask for the introduction of ordinance 55-25 and seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Paschal?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Sheehy?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Koziol?
Yes.
Colibus?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. 5526.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 7-33, Handicap Parking Regulations, 7-33.1A, Handicap Parking on Street. Add 335 Ashton Avenue, 1 space. Delete 429 Brook Street, 1 space. And delete 411 Washington Avenue, 1 space.
Council, in order to take into consideration the public input into the proposed ordinance, will allow 3 minutes for each individual to speak on the ordinance on the first reading. Council will not answer questions, and everybody is reminded that the public hearing on these ordinances will be held in next month's council meeting. Motion, please.
I move for introduction of ordinance 55-26 and request a second.
Second.
Mr. Paschal?
Yes.
Yemakaitis?
Yes.
Sheehy?
Yes.
Sadowski?
Yes.
Cosby Hurling?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Koziol?
Yes.
Colibus?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes. Going to move into comments from members of the public in attendance on city business only. No personal, political, or derogatory comments will be allowed, not to exceed 5 minutes. Is there anyone who would like to did not get a chance to sign in the sheet to speak? I would like Mr. Murray to come up.
Art Murray, 2130 Alberta Avenue. First, I want to say congratulations to my good friend Sal Bavona. We wish you well, Sal. You're going to make a great chief. I also want to welcome back the firefighters that were here. I know you guys been waiting. Now you're going to be the best job in the world. All right. I got a long way to go and a short time to get there, so I'll get going. I watched the grandstanding here last month between Armstead and Brown. You people act like a bunch of second graders let out of school for a recess. And by the way, Council President, why didn't you stick in there and stop them? That's your job. You're supposed to run this place like a council president. Run it.
Mr. Murray.
Don't let this go on
Consider
and on like that.
this meeting versus last
My
meeting.
friend. I know, I'm talking about the last two meetings. Your own colleagues were embarrassed by your behavior. One council member called the meeting a calamity, and another was disappointed and went so far as to apologize to his constituents for your behavior, and I thank him for that. You all seem to have your own agendas, and you forget why you're here. You're here for the taxpayer, not to advance your salaries. There is something to be said for competence, performance, and credibility, none of which any of you exhibit. The people of Linden want to believe that their city government is working, but after the spectacle last month, you make it very difficult to believe that you are working for anyone but yourselves. Mr. Moore.
Sir.
At last month's meeting, a young lady stood up and asked you about the campaign promise you made, saying that you would not seek a salary if elected.
Correct.
Your answer to her was a very snide, you changed your
my
mind. This prompts me to ask you, what if the people of Linden who voted for you were to get a chance to change their minds? You think you'd still have a job? I don't think so.
There will be a new election.
I know during last year's campaign you made a number of references to changes you would make at the CP in order to make the council operate more efficiently. As of this date, the only change I can see is the one where the city clerk now does the roll call backwards.
I suggested that.
I can't imagine why.
The reason why, if you were councilman after number 6, you could change your vote because it would pass. So after years of counting from 1 to 10, they decided to make a change and go from 10 to 1.
Yeah, it's a good change.
It's a change.
Oh, yeah. Okay, another thing. You made a lot of noise when you created the Budget Fact-Finding Committee to look at ways to close the budget gap this year. Now, according to you, because they were not following parliamentary procedure, you decide to disband the committee. I think the taxpayers would like to know exactly what parliamentary procedures you charged them with at the inception of the committee, and what were the preliminary procedures that they were not following, which caused you to disband that committee.
Several times I indicated to the Budget Committee to report to the Finance Committee, and they did not. So I sent them memos instructing them to do so on January 26th, March 9th, and another time. So what we've done now is, and January 25th, I'm sorry, 25th, 26th, and March 9th. So what we've done tonight is held back on the budget for input from the entire council and be presented next month.
So is this committee coming back?
Individually, we'll be in a whole as a group discussing the budget. There is no committee. It's a caucus conference, entire council meeting, open to the public.
All right. Mayor, I saved you for last. You were elected to be the mayor, and in business parlance, that means you're the CEO of a multi-million-dollar corporation. And therefore, as a taxpayer or a stockholder in that corporation, I believe you are responsible for the actions of this council and all the employees of the city. You spent a good portion of last mayor's report detailing how you spent a lot of time in Trenton. And I would suggest that before you start running around the state You're cleaning up the mess here in your own backyard. Right?
Trenton's where the money comes from.
What?
Trenton's where the money comes from.
Yeah, but you got to control here first. You know, you got to take care of here first.
We need rayables to come into this town.
We need control. We need somebody to sit here and be in charge. Right?
Look at today's meeting.
Today's meeting, you know what?
We came to a conclusion. We've talked about it.
Well, good. I mean, I even congratulate these two guys here. You did a great job tonight, all right?
So let's
But
move
this is
forward.
now in the last two meetings.
We want to move forward.
Good, me too. All right. But Mayor, really, you were on the council yourself for 10 years. You've never seen a mess like has been up here for the last 2 months. In the 10 years you were here, did you ever see this happen? I believe the answer is no, because I made most of those meetings. On Monday night, you and the governing body have a caucus meeting where you discuss city business and anything related to city business. Another reason for the caucus meeting is to allow you to resolve any disputes among the council members and clear up any disagreements you may have. Therefore, on Tuesday night, you can present a united front to the people. I think that's only fair. You are expected by virtue of your position to control these meetings. You are responsible for the actions of the council, and the people elected you to take charge.
1 minute.
Take charge. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you. Christopher Wilkendler, please.
Thank you, Council President. That was my ex-deputy chief, and chief, I'll be a lot easier on you, council people. The morning started off very well today. Whoops. I received a phone call that we were hiring 3 guys back. I just want to thank council, thank the mayor for living up to your end of the deal that we had, that men would be replaced. I called the mayor this afternoon and personally thanked him and look forward to getting the other 2 guys, Dominic Principato and Carl Totoli, back to duty next month. And I want to congratulate my brothers, Tom, Mike, and Brian back. Welcome back, and congratulate Brother Wayne Hands on his promotion. But I don't want people to believe that we are back at the manpower we need. We're still absent Engine 5, a critical piece of apparatus that people don't realize how much we need. And we're strapped. We're very much strapped. So please don't lose sight of that, and I'll be up here. Mayor, I thanked you today, but I'm sure we'll be doing battle once again in the near future. I want to congratulate Chief Bavona. I've been on the job quite a while, and we've been on many jobs together. Long and prosperous career, Sal. Thank you. Also, want to thank the fire committee for doing the best what's in the interest of the fire department, and I hope we can work together, continue to work together. The finance committee, we're trying our best to help the tax ratables stay down and still keep a safe level to protect our citizens. With that being said, this Saturday, April 23rd, the New Jersey State FMBA is honoring firefighters from across the state, from High Point to Cape May, annual event, and we have close to 1,000 people in attendance, and I chair the event every year for the State FMBA. This year, I just want to recognize some of our firefighters who will be receiving awards of special recognition, and I'd like to mention their names, Council President, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
For Group Effort Award Fire, we have Captain Warren Chanik, Captain Greg Weber, Firefighter Michael Cassidy, Firefighter Raymond Johns, and Firefighter Greg Pulowski. Another award, we have Group Effort Life Saving, Captain Fred Castle, Firefighter Raymond Johns, Firefighter Mike Callahan, Firefighter Ryan Gergich, Firefighter David Kolesa, Firefighter Michael Blazejowski, and an EMS award going to Firefighter Michael Callahan and Firefighter Raymond Johns. These firefighters are honored by our state association, and I hope the city does recognize them in a proper ceremony to be later on somewhere down the line. That's all I have. Have a blessed Easter and a happy Passover. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bianco.
Joe Bianco, 423 Farnwood Terrace. I keep telling myself this is the last time. To begin with, don't portray me as a counselor. There are times that my comments may be repetitive, so I'll reiterate a quote of Agatha Christie. Good advice is always certain to be ignored, but that's no reason not to give it. As always, my comments are expressed with all due respect, nothing personal. Sadly, some comments fall on deaf ears. You, the members of council, are all adults and should know right from wrong. So act responsibly and try to reason with a common sense attitude. And do the right thing in all issues concerning the community. Try to enhance the image of the community. Lead by example. You should be held to a higher standard. And try to remember, respect is a two-way street. A basic element in earning respect is to respect others. If I have bored you, I offer no apologies. Remember, you get paid to listen. Although at times one wonders, do you listen? Maybe it's not deaf ears as referred to earlier, but rather words going in one ear and out the other. Now, that may indicate perhaps there is nothing in between. Enough said. A happy Easter and a happy Passover. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Griffin?
Good evening. First of all, I want to congratulate all the firefighters for coming back. And I want to thank the council for bringing some of them back. Wow, where do I start? First thing I want to say is last meeting that you guys had was ridiculous, you know.
Can you speak into the microphone, please? I'm having trouble hearing you.
The last meeting that you guys had was ridiculous, okay? All the arguing, the bickering, it's just child's play, you know. Well, we're adults here, you know. Long time ago, when I was a child, 7, 8, 9, whatever age it was, my father taught me to be honest, be for real. My mother taught me the same, you know, and that's what I'm doing here right now, so whatever, okay? There's one thing that I see here, 5514, I know it's been tabled until next month. That seems to be our thing that we do every single time when we don't want to discuss something or whatever, we don't want to, you know, we move it to next month, you know. I heard on the last month's meeting, too, that, we had a judge, or we have a judge here, Mr. DeLeo, that, he took a little pay cut for us. You know, he's looking out for the city, trying to save us some money. And I understand, Mr. Mayor, you have a person that you wanted to appoint to that position. Okay, beautiful, great thing. But you want to appoint him at a salary of $75,000. Well, this guy has no experience from what you were telling me. You said that he has experience, but from what I figured out and found out through other people, that he really has no experience in any kind of way. It's just like if we were to hire him, it's just like, you know, me hiring some landscaper or some contractor who just started opening his business. He got some brand new tools, doesn't know what he's doing, but I'm going to hire him over someone that's had some experience. That's, no, ridiculous. And then I also found out that there was I remember I spoke to you, Mr. Mayor, I spoke to you on the phone last month, that you explained to me why you wanted to hire this gentleman. You went on about he has experience without saying how much experience he had, but you said he has experience. Basically what I got out of you, I got out of a whole lot of stuff with a whole lot of mistruth or unspoken truth. It's unreal. You know, all I expect for anybody here is just to be honest. You know, I get that from Mr. Puchel, I get that from Ms. Yamakaitis, Mr. Fraser, Mr. Brown, Mr. Cozio, everybody else, you know. I hear that and I appreciate that from you guys.
One minute.
Man, I need some time because got a lot of speakers up. But anyway, I don't know, this is just ridiculous, you know. You know, we have to really like police ourselves, and all this name calling stuff is, come on, what are we, like 3 years old? Thank you.
George Costry. George Costry. What? Yes, sir. All right, when we're done, I'll ask you to come up, all right? Remind me.
George Costry, 66 Ferber Avenue.
Thank you.
The reason I'm here tonight is I've been at council meetings. You know, I've been here when you did the layoffs. I was here. I spoke against the layoffs for the safety reasons, for the citizens, and for the firefighters. So I'm here tonight to thank you for putting the men back on. Although we're still down an engine company, I think that by not letting the compliment fall farther than it is, you're keeping your word. As the guys retired, you'll be putting them on. So I'm here to thank you for that. Congratulations to Chief Bavona, and congratulations to Michael, to Tommy, and Brian's there. Okay, and congratulations to Captain Wayne Hands, who had to leave because I know he went with his family somewhere. But I'm here to thank you. I was here, I spoke against it. I'll let you know my feelings, and I'm here to thank you for being men and women that you were, that spoke to your word, that you'd bring them back, and I hope that you continue to bring them back as the guys retire. Thank you.
Thank you. Pat Hero.
Pat Hero, Wheat Chief Road. First, I want to give a shout out to Councilman Frazier. He's voice of sanity and reason on the council. He's one of my top 5 councilmen, and I hope he makes a full and complete recovery. Now, I certainly can stand to be corrected. I'm not perfect, and as you well know, I'm not perfect. I never claimed to be, as I was by a senior citizen about last month's speech. She informed me that the garbage cans used in collecting garbage by one-armed garbage trucks are rather easy for a senior citizen to use, as she has used them with no problem. And anytime somebody thinks that I've said something that isn't correct, I certainly would appreciate being told that so I can correct that. Another issue I have is that a meeting on the school budget is being held at Linden High School at the same time as the live Linden City Council meeting on Tuesday, April 19th. I certainly hope next year that this conflict will not occur. It's pretty obvious to know when the council meetings are, so I hope that they will reschedule. I mean, we do have Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. I can understand maybe not wanting it on Friday, but to have it at the same night as the council meeting is not a good idea. This month, I celebrate my 7th year anniversary as appearing before the Linden governing body. I remember actually 7 years ago sitting in the audience and thinking that maybe I really didn't have to get up and give that speech. Maybe nobody would know that except one person whom I told I was going to give that speech. They wouldn't know. I would just leave. I think about how much I would have missed if I had done that. I think of all the people I've known through doing this and how great they are. It's such an honor to be numbered among the people of this community and to express what we need and what we want. And I only wish that more people would do this because it's really been a tremendous honor. And I thought you might be interested in knowing what I've learned in the 7 years. First of all, arrogance and power often go together, but they never go together well. It's always a bad idea to say, you don't know who I am? Don't you know who I am? Or the equivalent. If you're important enough, people will know who you are. If they don't, do you really want to be embarrassed that you're not as important as you thought you were? And none of us are that important. Many people have come up to me and have told me things. I may need to contact you, members of the governing body, and check out what has been said as to the accuracy of the statements. I appreciate you treating me in a professional manner. When I do this with regard to government employment of your relatives, it is not going after your family. It is checking out with what was told to me is true or not. How much time do I have, Mr. Moore?
So,
Council President Moore?
2 minutes.
2 minutes, okay. I guess I'm going to make this short. I do have some comments I'm going to make next month about respect and addressing some of those issues, so I'm going to put them off. But I'd like to wish everyone a happy Easter and a happy Passover. And I'd like to dedicate this to each and every person in the city of Linden. I'd like to conclude with a quote from C.S. Lewis. If individuals live only 70 years, then a state or a nation or a civilization, which may last for 1,000 years, is more important than an individual. But if my spiritual tradition is true, then the individual is not only more important, but incomparably more important. For that individual is everlasting, and the life of a state or a civilization compared with that individual is only a moment. No matter who you are, think on that. You are important, and you do matter to your community, to your family, to your friends, and to the world at large. Thank you. You're not insignificant. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Patty Moore.
Patty.
Patty Marigold, 2519 Greer Avenue. I was expecting to see the budget presentation today, but I have I was only able to go through the budget real quick because I downloaded it. Can I just ask at least one budget question? Can I?
Sure.
Yes, thank you. Mayor, where's your money? I went through your budget, and remember you had somebody no longer working in your department? But yet, in your salaries, you have, in 2010, it was $177,600, and now it's down to $172,900. There's only a difference of $4,700. If you don't have somebody working in your department, I would expect to have seen, I mean, I know I can't go by the $91,000 that you kept saying that you lost, you gave to the city, but at the same time, there should be much more of a deduction, I think like $75,000 of a deduction in salaries on that. Where's the money? I'm sorry, but I was one of the ones that stood out.
The money is saved in the Treasurer's Department, where I took the woman from the Treasurer's Department and used her as my confidential secretary. So her salary shows up in the mayor's office, but not in the Treasurer's office.
Okay. I'll have to look at that one next. Okay. And in the assessment of taxes, that went up by $11,300, and the expense piece of it went up to $800 more, And that was another reason why was wondering why that was. But I can wait and ask these questions because I'll have more time to go. But I was just wondering why I'm not seeing much of a change in the numbers. So if you could, Alexis, if you want to get back to me on that one before we have our meeting on the assessment of taxes on why you increased it by $11,300 from last year to this year. And I'd also like to congratulate Sal Bavono, Chief Sal Bavono, which is, wow, thank you. And also welcome back the three firemen. Thank you, welcome back. And also the lieutenant, his promotion, I appreciate. Thank you very much for all your devotions to the Linden residents. And I'm really hoping to see a good budget next year, and I hope, next month, I'm sorry. Like I said, my notes just are not here. Thank you.
Councilman Brown, you have a comment?
Can we answer questions in regards to the budget? I think that's a good question. Can I? Well, I know that in regards to the taxes, tax assessor, this is one of the things that prior to us working on the budget, we knew that tax appeals, not just in Linden, but across the state and across the nation, we're seeing a rise as far as people applying for tax appeals. And so that's one of the reasons is to cover those costs of tax appeals.
Okay, that's what a tax assessment. There's also another line on taxes from the tax department also. There's a couple of line items on here on the tax department. So I was just wondering if they're all falling underneath that, Mr. Brown. I mean, I don't know where, in looking at this, it was
Council
just
President?
different.
Yes.
Can I just, I know the budget hasn't even been introduced, so I don't understand how this working document even got into the public. Right now, it's still basically in the committee of the Finance Committee and now the council. I know we have 245 pending tax appeals in Union County Tax Court, and I know Mr. Farangella had explained the possible exposure, and he needed the attorneys as well as the experts. So again, I'm a little uncertain as to how you had gotten that information.
Well, because also at the same, Mr. Armstead, Councilman Armstead said it's online, so I got it.
No, that's the county. I spoke of the county budget. The county budget I mentioned.
Mr. Totoli?
Rebecca Totoli. We haven't, Pure Gen hasn't come up in a while, and I was just wondering, is everything on track, or what's going on, or as far as that's concerned? I know that there were going to be meetings and stuff, so I was wondering if there's anything new with Pure Gen. Haven't heard anything in attending caucuses. I believe the last time was 2 months ago. Something was said that you were going to go down to Trenton. I was just wondering if anything's moving forward on that, let's put it that way, or where they may be in their permitting status.
At this point, we have nothing new to report.
Okay. First off, I just want to wish Godspeed to the 3 retiring firefighters, and of course, Police Officer Knapp. I think people forgot that he was retiring, and he was, I knew a week or so ago I had heard, and I saw his name in the agenda tonight, and he kind of got lost in the shuffle. So I want to wish him Godspeed, and like the other retirees, Godspeed to them, and they have served this community proud. I want to welcome back the 3 young men and congratulate Captain Hands, and of course, Chief Bavona, who I've known for many years. You deserve the position. I'm really grateful tonight that we held ourselves to a higher decorum than we have in the past. I attribute that to Mr. Frazier, because he's home watching, taking notes, because it's a lot easier to watch on TV and see what you guys and ladies, excuse me, gals, have didn't do so proudly. And I just want to thank the fire committee and the rest of the council and the mayor for keeping their word, because I do know that a statement was that if the, as retirees would go, that our firefighters would be called back. So I wish the residents and the council, the mayor's office, a happy Easter, and for any of you that celebrate Passover, happy Passover.
Thank you. Mr. Robert Goebel.
Mr. Mayor, how you doing? Council President and council people, how are you? Last week I wasn't able to, last month I should say, I wasn't able to attend, and I myself was kind of embarrassed at what happened, you know. So, you know, people already spoke their piece about that. But what I did is I thought about it, and to break the mood sometimes, I made Mr. Moore a little gift, and I want to give it to you now. When things get out of control, I think you bring this out and maybe give everybody a laugh, calm the situation down.
That's cute. Does it make noise?
That's cute.
Mr. Clerk,
You might love it, you might hate it.
make sure you put it in the vault.
Now, I don't have a name for him. I was thinking Officer Joe, but we can put anybody's name in that, any of the officers. Firefighters, congratulations for coming back. It's a great thing. Wayne Hands, old buddy of mine, congratulations to him. Chief, good luck. Now, you know, I'm the guy, little things mean a lot. Congratulations for Linden, taking care of that. Mr. Sheehy, I wasn't able to attend, like I said. That's 95% done. Maybe next time we come, it'll be 100% done. Next thing, though, we have to take care of is that light that stays on 24 hours a day on Blanky Street, right outside City Hall here, and one is over by the train station. Lights are on 24 hours a day. Maybe we can take care of those things. Now, I know that there's not much money in the budget. Do you think we have enough money in the budget to get some new garbage cans down St. George Avenue? Down on the other side of Wood Avenue? The garbage cans tops are missing. They're garbage falling out of them. Makes it look bad. You know how I feel about that. I don't want to look bad. I don't think anybody in Linden wants to look bad. You know what I mean? People come down St. George Avenue, we look bad. We don't want that. Do you think we can scrounge up a few dollars, get some new garbage cans, please? Also, can we get some new park benches in some of the parks and get rid of these plastic benches that are all contorted and you can't sit properly? And maybe, just maybe, we can put some concrete slabs down so when you sit on them, you're not knee-deep in mud. What do you think? I mean, I go to these parks. I hope some of you people visit them too. You would see what I mean. Again, I know it's petty stuff, but those things are important. It makes our town nice. That's the things I like. Also, can we please get somebody on the weekends to give out summonses to these businesses that are putting out their garbage on Saturday for Monday and Tuesday? Can we please do something about that? Who do we have that can come out and start ticketing these people? Warn them one time, and then if they don't comply, let's ticket them. Let's do it. There's a ton of businesses out there that are doing that. Down Elizabeth Avenue, down St. George Avenue, and maybe not everybody knows it. I happen to notice it because the streets get filthy and dirty because of them, and it puts extra work on Public Works. They don't need any extra works. One other thing, on the way over here from my house, I counted 15 clothing bins on the way to from here to my house. Constantly building up furniture, toys that they don't need, all kinds of things like that. And it puts a burden on Public Works. Do we need all those recycle bins? I don't think so. Why don't we have a spot that you have clothing bins and let the city get all the money for those clothes? Be a lot of money. And that's roughly about all I have to say, all right? Just take those into consideration, just some of the little things, all right? Thank you, everybody.
What was the address where the light was on 24 hours a day?
Well, you have one right outside here on Blanky Street. I think it's been here about one of the decorative lights. It's been replaced about 3 months ago, and the light's been on ever since. right outside the door. Is there a reason for that? You know, maybe there's a reason for it, you know, and then one in front of the City Hall as well, you know, 24, I mean, not City Hall, the train station. It's on 24 hours a day.
We're in the train station.
Right on the Wood Avenue side, across from Linwood.
And it's one of the black ornamental lights?
One of the fancy lights. It's a two light. It's on 24 hours a day. I mean, is there a reason why?
At the train station?
Yeah, right on, it's on Wood Ave, though. It's on Wood Ave. It's on the Wood Avenue side, right across from the Linwood, right by the corner there. It's on all the time, you know. Some of the little things, you know what I mean? All right?
Thank you,
I mean, it's
Mr.
up,
Scobie.
right? You wouldn't let your faucet keep dripping water all 24 hours a day, would you, right?
Right.
Gets
Thank-
expensive, right?
Thank you for that. Thank
All
you.
right, everybody, thank you.
Joaquin? Cancel. Sir? Would you sign it? Just sign in after. We'll sign in after.
I don't like your haircut.
All right, go ahead. What? You're up.
Hello, my name is Paul Sharby. I reside at 315 2nd Avenue, Linden, New Jersey. Well, first of all, I'm paid ahead until August on my property taxes. Okay, till August. Because I, as a taxpayer in Pottsville, Pennsylvania, and here in Linden, New Jersey, I have a home up there and I have a home here. First, I called up for a special pickup for my home. I'm still waiting. It's 2 weeks later. Because I have family coming down, I'm out of state, so I'm cleaning up my house inside, in front of my house and all this. I know, by right, I'm not supposed to put it in front, but I called up for a special pickup. I cannot wait until May to have my couch that I threw away, the hedges and everything, so I put them in my driveway. Still waiting. Me and my neighbor, who resides next door to me, called Councilman about the wire in front of my house. I see kids going by it now, having on the wire, nothing done. I see people come out from the city to look at it. Oh, it ain't mine, it ain't public service. Well, who's gonna take it down? You want me to climb up and get it down? The other thing, the budget can't be presented because we don't know how much the county's gonna tax us. Why? Went and found out. The county, they vote next week on the budget. For me, and how my house is assessed, it's going to cost me $108. The city Board of Education budget, if it passes, will cost me, my house is assessed at $118,000. It'll cost me $39 a quarter. That's exactly. What the city does, I don't know yet, because we haven't gotten your budget back. Am I correct? Thank you. Now, as for next week, is the first part of the budget that's presented to this city. As a taxpayer, who am I voting for? Why, I have voted already. Me and my wife. I mailed it in, and I'll tell you, I didn't put a third person on my ballot. I put 2 down, but you don't know who the third is. And how I voted for the budget, I said no. Because last year they sent it back to you gentlemen, and what did you do? I only caught 1 million. Our taxes went up what percent? And that all fell on you. Now, how are you working for the taxpayers? All you gentlemen who sit up there, the ones who were there, and the new ones. The new ones have nothing to do with what went on. I was a councilman too. Okay, I know what goes on behind the closed doors. I came by last night saying, well, how long are they in focus here? I had to go to my meeting. I come by 9:45. Everybody was gone. Are they working for us? Okay? There you go. Now, next week comes upon the voters to either push it back to you or go on with as usual.
1 minute, sir.
Okay. As for next week, I'd like to announce my candidacy as a writing candidate for the Linden Board of Education.
No political statements.
As a writing candidate. And I suggest to the taxpayers that they say no to this budget that you'll be voting on next week from 4 to 9 p.m. If it comes back to them, it might be able to get down to $18 a quarter.
Time's up. Thank you. State your name. I couldn't make out your...
John Roman,
Thank
Summit Street. I have here in my hand a centennial wood nickel from Linden's 100th anniversary celebration. I value this more than I value some of the words that are spoken here from council members and the mayor. You were all elected, you made some kind of a promise or pledge, and everything I continue to hear is it's not happening. So this, Mr. Sheehy, is, I guess, what the public calls entertaining. That's why you're paying outrageous prices for cable. To be sure, this is like pro wrestling. One wants to lay the smackdown on you, the other one wants to give you the people's elbow, okay? And we all know it's not real, but we come here, we see it every month. And you know the outcome is not for ratings, it's about votes with you people, you know, and you need to assure the public that, you know, things will get done. You know, they might not seem like they are because this is all for the public. You make the vote in the back room. You know, and as for like the seniors and the people watching at home, the seniors I can understand they can't get out as much or they need a bus that isn't going to take them to Clark. Maybe bring them here to these meetings, you know, they'll voice their opinions. And for the younger crowd, people who should get involved not only by their vote, they need to put down the remote and get their butts over here to voice their opinions as well. Thank you. That's all, folks.
Thank you. The following council meetings will be as follows. Council conference meeting Tuesday, April 26, 2011 at 6:30 will be in a council conference room, City Hall, 301 Northwood Avenue. Council meeting Scout Government Day, April 26, 2011 at 7 o'clock in the council chambers, City Hall, 2001. I ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Second, please.
Second. Mr. Purcell. Frazier. Yemakaitis. Sheehy.
Yes.
Sadowski. Crosby Earl.
Yes.
Armstead. Brown.
Your neighbor.
Bozio. Colvis.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Thank you all for coming.
I've been here 40-something years, I still don't know the streets. Well,